Ladies and gentlemen, it is a beautiful day today here in Miami, Oklahoma, and we found the latest and greatest here at Newell Coach. Phil Cornelius, how you doing today,
Hey, Andrew,
sir?
good to see you, as always.
Likewise. So this is quite the coach here. I love the American flag back here. What are we looking at, sir?
This is a 2025, coach number 1818. It was just completed. In fact, we did our executive review yesterday, getting it ready for delivery next week to the new owners.
It's been some years since we did a video about the executive review, but what all does that entail?
Once it's gone through manufacturing, gone through the inspections, they get it ready for us to do an executive review, and that's going to entail 15, 20 people coming down from different parts of the company and looking at this coach from several different perspectives. That way, instead of just one person or two people inspecting it, you've got a variety of perspectives taking a look at the coach. We're able to communicate with one another better that way. If we see some things that we might want to improve later, if there's anything that needs to be immediately addressed, that gets taken care of. But when we first started this, we had a punch list that might be this long, and now that punch list is about this long. It's made a big difference to the quality of the coach and getting it ready for delivery.
Yes, sir. Before we look more at the coach, I want to ask you a little bit about that delivery process. When someone's taking delivery of a brand new 2025 Newell coach, how does that delivery process work?
We start the delivery on a Tuesday morning. The clients may come in that Monday night, get rested up, and then come in. Once it goes into paint, we don't let them see any photographs. We don't let them see any interior shots or exterior shots until the big reveal on the day of the delivery. So they're pretty excited and anxious. Some of them are nervous. We'll have a orientation with them before we show them the coach, letting them know what's going to happen throughout the week. And that entails, going through the coach. Then we have the big reveal, and it's sometimes a very emotional thing. They've been waiting, in some cases, a year and a half, 2 years for this coach to be built. It's really rewarding to us to see them so enamored with the coach that they helped build.
Yes, sir. It's got to be amazing to be able to purchase a coach at the highest level here. And talking about the lead time on custom ordering a new coach. Now, this was a custom coach, I'm assuming, where the owner picked out this paint job and everything?
Right now we're about a year and a half out. There may be an occasion where we can slide somebody in if they're ready to move pretty quick. We've had a couple of situations where a customer had placed an order a year or so ago, and they had some conflicts as to when they could get their design meeting done, so we had to move them down and then put somebody else in their place. That's a rare opportunity, but if somebody is interested in being on a list, they can contact me and I can put them on a list to give them a call.
Now, I've got to ask you a lot of the hard questions. The viewers leave some great questions in the comments.
Sure.
And a question that I recently saw is, why would a late model Newell be available on the pre-owned market? We have seen some nice pre-owned inventory over the last few years. It was very limited inventory, but more late model pre-owned Newells have come to market lately. What is the reason for that?
I think during COVID, we had a tremendous uptick in sales. I mean, at one time we were 2.5 years out on production because people were looking to get into a different lifestyle because they couldn't enjoy the previous lifestyle, jet setting it to Europe or taking cruises, and nobody knew how long that was going to last. So we had a lot of people order coaches. They love the experience, but they've kind of returned to their other lifestyle. The other thing, life happens. You have health issues occasionally. We've got a couple of situations like that. So there are a number of reasons that you might see that, but I think the fact that there was such a surge of sales over a 2 to 2.5 year period, you're naturally going to get a little bit more product on the used market. That being said, we're still a year and a half out on our new production. There's options there. For the guy that wants something now, we've got some of these late model coaches that come in. And for the ones that want to design it themselves, we'll just have to be patient, hurry up and wait.
Well, I've got all kinds of questions I want to ask you, but let's talk more about this coach, this paint job. Was there an inspiration for the American flag design? And this is similar to another coach that we saw, but a little bit different.
And I think that may have been an inspiration for this one. We have a lot of patriotic clients and happy to have that.
Now, Newells are built from the ground up here. Chassis, this is all built here in the USA?
Absolutely. Made in the USA. Our workers are all here locally. Some of them have been here for 30 years plus. They're trained here. They know the product from the engineering to the production to the service. The chassis is made from the ground up here. It's not purchased from a foreign country and brought in and modified to try to be a motorhome. Newell doesn't have the limitations that you'll see in some of the other products. Newell is not a passenger bus that was converted to be a motorhome. It's built from the ground up to be a luxury motor coach. Bus conversions, for example, you take a passenger bus and you take it after it's completed and you go get it modified and reinforced to try to handle the weight of the slides, and then it's sent to the United States to be converted into a motorhome application. And that's fine. I sold bus conversions for 17 years.
You're one of the top salesmen for a long time. Yes, sir.
And it was a great career and good product. What you run into, though, is the cost for all those different steps. It's just going to be passed on to the consumer. Whereas with Newell, it's all contained here, and we have more control over it from a servicing standpoint. We have more control over it from a design and engineering standpoint. We're not trying to marry 2 or 3 different systems into one coach. It is designed from the ground up to be a luxury motor coach.
Now, in the back of the coach, towing capacity, I know Newell's led the industry. Are you still at a 25,000 pound towing capacity?
25,000 pound towing capacity for the guys that want to pull the trailers. And then we have an adapter that takes it down to where if you're just going to tow a tow car.
And then power plant.
Yeah, here you've got the Cummins X15, also made in the USA rather than another foreign country. The thing I like to point out is the ability to service this coach. When you look at what we're able to do as far as creating that space, to be able to get in and service the engine if you need to, there's just plenty of space. We've got the air hose that goes from front to back. We have actually a doubler that doubles the air pressure so that you can air up the tires.
Yeah, and I love this lighting, especially that red lighting really complements this coach. Well, that's one thing that Newell does is inside, outside. Right. I think more exterior lighting, more interior lighting than anyone else I know. What is the exterior lighting on this coach?
We've got the white LED lighting so that if you're needing to get into the coach at night, you've got that. Now you've got lighting underneath the edge of the awnings up here. Yeah. You've got lighting under the belt rail and lighting under the coach. You've got lighting in the awning itself when it comes out, lighting around the windows. And notice you really don't see the small little bulbs on this lighting. It's all continuous.
Yeah, and that's a big improvement from some of the stuff we've seen in the past. I really like the clean, straight lines. When did Newell Coach start using this newer style of lighting?
I think it's been about a year.
I know Newell's always trying to improve little bits, so every time we come here, I'm noticing little details of improvement. And I'm seeing here, custom series number 81 by Ryan Laux. The designs here at Newell have really stepped up in the last few years, but it's hard to believe already 81 coaches that Ryan Laux has designed here.
Yeah, he's done a great job, and he works great with our team. He designs it, but they've got to execute, and they do a fantastic job. You can see all these special graphics. That doesn't happen by accident. They have to work at it. I don't even understand it whenever I go over there and I see all the stuff they're doing. It's just like, it's mind-blowing.
It's definitely a lot of work to get to a paint job at this level. Now, seeing that 81 number also reminds me, I was already filming here for some time before Ryan Laux started doing the paint design, and to think that you guys have built 81 coaches, and there's a lot more coming through here. Newell's doing a lot of volume at the high-end level. How many motor coaches a year is Newell building?
We're budgeted now for 26 a year. We've got the highest volume of any of our competitors, and there's a reason that we're doing that. It's because of the sales. As long as the sales keep coming in, we're going to keep pumping them out at that level.
Well, and I'm sure you and the team at Newell learn a lot by putting in all of those reps. That's the best way to learn is just by building them over and over. Now, what is it about Newell that you're able to build that many coaches and sell that many coaches? And what is the price of these new Newell coaches?
Well, the price right now is a 2.6. We're probably going to see another price increase next year. We haven't raised our prices in almost 2 years. The costs continue to go up, but we've kind of kept our retail down. We've chosen deliberately not to put that extra markup that our competitors have done to offer discounts. We just want to have more of a realistic price, and then that eliminates a lot of the haggling, and we can be realistic on the trade values with them as well. So yeah, 2.6 is probably going to go up to around 2.7, and that's going to be for actually 2027 models. The price increase is not on the 25 or 26 models. It's on the coaches being ordered to be a 27 model.
That makes sense. I can imagine people buying a coach of this level, their time is very valuable, and they don't want to mess with haggling. They want to get right to it.
Right,
so.
right. And the other thing that people are coming to us, that's one of the reasons I'm here, that I left a 17-year career in the bus conversion business and came here, is that it is made from the ground up. Newell has proven that it's a leader in this segment of the industry. People want to have a one-stop shop where they're not having to deal with a chassis manufacturer that's in a foreign country and then an American company that's the converter. They just want to be able to deal with one company that can service them, be able to walk them through. We have people that take delivery, and of course they're going to be calling us 2 weeks from now, and we've got people that can walk them through everything without pointing them to a different company. We can walk them through the entire process.
On that note, the Newell Coach Service Hotline is an incredible resource for Newell owners as well.
24/7. We've got guys, as I said, that answer that phone. Some of them actually built these coaches, so they know how they're built. They're working in the service side of our business now. They understand the product.
Yeah, to be able to pick up the phone and call someone and have someone on the other line that understands the coach and can a lot of times walk the owner through troubleshooting small problems really makes life easier as a motor coach owner.
Yes, definitely. We did make some slight body style changes on the engine compartment doors. You'll notice that they're smoother. You can choose to put the stainless on or leave it off, and if you leave it off, it's going to be smooth so that you can bring your paint down through the door if you want to. Same thing on the back.
I see now the body lines have a spot that flow with the letters, where before it was just a badge on top of the coach. And then opening this door, I like this button is hidden here below, and then there's that big power washer you were talking about.
It's got the hose that you can connect to the pressure washer here and go anywhere on the coach. But we've also got a wand, and you can have a shorter hose that hooks up to the front or to the back. If you just want to spray off the engine, or if you want to spray the bugs off the windshield, you don't have to roll the hose all the way out.
And what else is going on in this bay?
Well, you've got your chassis batteries, and we still use the power pulse system. What that does, it's basically a battery conditioner. It extends the life of your batteries, something that we've used on the chassis batteries as well as the house batteries.
Then I'm noticing on the inside of the door, this is new, where I'm seeing these screws in here. It looks a little more robust than it did.
Yeah, it's definitely more rigid. That was part of the design change of the door.
Always improving. Was that new for 2025?
A lot of changes we don't make necessarily on year model changes. It's just whenever we're able to do it. We're the highest volume in our segment of the industry, but we're still low volume. We're 26 a year, so we don't want to just wait until the end of the year to change if we can incorporate it now. And you may not be able to see it, but we have the actual charger for the chassis batteries is here, and you can plug in with just a 120 volt extension cord on the other side. Charger's already built in to charge the chassis batteries if you're going to store it for a long period of time.
Now this has the center door, which has become very popular amongst Newell coach owners. Right. I've heard all kinds of different reasons that they prefer this over a front door. But what percentage of new Newell builds are going to be a mid-entry versus front entry? And what are some of the reasons for folks choosing that?
Well, there's some ebb and flow as far as the ratio goes. At one time it was like 70-30, and then we started taking some of these center door coaches to shows, and so it increased to like 40-60. Now it's about a 50-50 mix. In fact, if we go on the line now, we may even see more center door entries than we do the front door entry. But again, there's some ebb and flow. There's advantages to both. A lot of folks that are destination travelers, and they're going to a resort that they've bought a nice lot and have a large entertainment area, and they're going to stay there for 3, 4, 5, 6 months. They like the mid-door entry because it's not opening up at the front near the road. It's right into their entertainment area. Load in and load out is so much easier with the mid-entry because you're taking your groceries, your clothes, and your groceries are right there in the kitchen. Your clothes, instead of having to go around that chair up in the front and taking boxes,
all the way to the back of the coach.
This is much easier. The other thing that they like, being able to have that living room be totally separated. Nobody's going to be walking through it while you're watching TV. You can turn the two chairs, or the driver and passenger chairs, around, have more room to entertain if you want to. The other thing is you have a screen door on the mid-entry model. You can't get that on front entries. The awning also, depending on the floor plan, the awning comes right over the top of the entry.
And on the mid-entries, if you're at the right RV lot or in the right location, you can even pull a car underneath the awning. So if it's raining, you could essentially get out of your vehicle, walk right into your coach without being exposed to the elements.
Absolutely, yeah. And again, it's just a preference. Floor plan wise, there's the advantages, and then sometimes if people want like a bunk bed floor plan, it's far more difficult to get bunks in a mid-entry, so they're going to need to stay with a front entry. Can be done. There's some sacrifices you might make, but it can be done. While there's some definite advantages, you're limited. It's what you can do on the floor plan because that door's got to go right there. We have introduced a couple of other floor plans where the door is moved up a little bit and it changes some storage configurations, which are really pretty cool, but that's again floor plan dependent. Newell has been building the center door entry forever, since their inception, and as a standard practice we are the only ones that build the mid-entry. And so we've got the most experience at it. You just really won't find a mid-entry on other platforms unless it's something very, very rare.
There's some other, lower end Class A's, like the gas Class A's, that have a mid-entry.
Oh, sure.
At this level in a $2 million motor coach, Newell's the only one doing it.
Right.
Now, talking about the bays here, there's something that I recently experienced that I just love. Having a camera on the bay door, I didn't realize how much of an advantage that was to be able to line up that diesel tank with the fuel pump, and then you could fill up on both sides.
Right.
And then the other thing I really like about the Newell is you can just press one button to unlock your bay doors, come out here, press a button, and then now easily access your fuel bay where you don't have to use a key to open the door or anything like that.
Exactly, and this door generally will go up higher when the slide's in.
Okay.
So you've got easier access than what we're seeing here.
Okay.
So, and we'll see that on the other side. Another advantage to having it underneath is that you don't have a fuel fill on the side of the coach. You don't have to worry about diesel coming down the side of the coach. Also, you don't have to worry about it being siphoned out. It's locked behind the door.
Yes, sir. And a 200-gallon diesel fuel tank?
Right, and 21 gallons of DEF, I believe.
Yes, sir. What else is going on in the bay?
Okay, on the center door entry, we have the storage bays split up a little bit differently. On the front entry, you have two larger bays, and on the center door, you've got three smaller bays. Same amount of storage, but just distributed a little differently, and we'll see that here. And on this one, it's a manual slide that comes all the way out either side.
Yeah, very robust, very industrial, and
yes,
good spot for golf clubs or...
Well, a lot of the cleaning supplies, things you're not going to get to very often, can go back here. Because we do have a safety built in, you can't open the door when this is up. This coach, we didn't put a window in, but you can put a window in. When you don't put a window in, you've got more flexibility with your paint. You're not going to be going through a window. Notice that we don't have the bathroom window on this side. You're going to see a new floor plan when we go in where the mid bath is on the other side.
Yeah, and I've just got to point out that heavy metallic, I don't even know how to explain this color. I don't know if the camera does justice, but just incredible detail, even in that dark color up top there. There's a lot more going on than just a flat black.
There's no limit to the creativity that you can incorporate into the coaches. The colors themselves, Ryan ends up putting a package together, sending to the customer for them to approve with actual paint chips so they can take it out into the sunlight, make sure it's exactly what they wanted. The end result's just fabulous. With the mid-entry, our water bay, instead of being back in the bay behind, we're going to have it here. As we introduced a year or two ago, instead of having the remote controls or having to use the remote controls or a button inside,
oh, very cool.
Now we're using the buttons on the end of the bay door to move the TV out. Then we've got access to the water bay on this side. You've got your aqua hot inside, your water filters. This coach has a macerator that can be used on this side. Same basic bay that we have on the front entries, just in a different location.
And what's the holding tank capacities in this coach?
You've got 142 gallons of fresh water, 142 gallons of wastewater.
A lot of tank capacity if you want to do some dry camping in this coach.
Yes. Newell is set up for the dry camping, both from a plumbing standpoint, and we've got that 20 kW diesel generator to keep things going. Our storage bays in the front, same thing here. We've got the buttons on the end of the...
That's a huge improvement from grabbing the remote in the past. That was, you know, just to have to bend over to get to that remote. This is a game changer. Full pass-through bay with the power slide tray that comes out both ways. And I love this carbon fiber and stainless on the face there, very finished out. I'm a big fan of these buttons. Now, does it still have the remotes as well?
You have the remote controls, and you have another manual switch on the inside of the bay too. So there's plenty of backup.
Now, these look like some really nice carpets that would go in the entry area or the driver cockpit area.
We haven't put those in yet, but we'll be putting those in as we get the coach completed for delivery.
And then they give you all kinds of goodies. Now, this is a Newell doormat. It still is taped up right now.
Yep.
And then you also have your industrial grade power washer wand, power washer hose reel. This is a great product, ceramic detail spray to help keep the coach clean. Coming around to the front of the coach, I really like the higher mirrors. We do see sometimes lower mirrors and higher mirrors.
It's a customer choice, whatever they prefer. Some people are coming out of a product that has the lower mirrors. Once people experience the advantage of the higher mirrors, they generally don't go back. We build more with the higher mirrors than the lower mirrors.
Of course, that beautiful backlit Newell logo, and I really like the way they brought the paint design through the front end of the coach. Very sleek look here.
Another great paint design that brings it all together. The backlit badge at night, when we're in the different resorts and you see all these Newell badges lit up, it's kind of cool to see.
Yes, sir. Now, a 20 kW generator is housed up front here.
We've got another door that covers the generator. The generator's all the way in the front, so any noise that you might have is going to be all the way up here, so you're not even going to hear it in the back. If you've got the air conditioner running, you'll hear more from the air conditioner than you will the generator.
It's on airbags, and then I like the way they have these placards to remind you what PSI to set it to.
Right.
You can start and stop your generator. You've got a switch for the fuel primer there, and then a kill switch as well.
Yeah, this is a Martin generator, again, made in the USA, 20 kW versus 12 and a half. We understand the transition to electric, and we're okay with that. We offer a lithium battery package, for example, but we don't want to abandon the tried and proven.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to use that 20 kW. If something were to happen with an electrical system where the batteries either failed or a component between the batteries and their components failed, we don't want to be stuck and have to turn the engine on to provide power. We've got this generator there for a reason. We encourage people to run that generator when they're on the road, because one of the biggest abuses of generators is not running them enough under a full load. It's important to be totally self-contained and under all circumstances.
And I can appreciate that. A couple years ago, after a hurricane down in Florida, my power was out for about 2 weeks at my house. And I'll tell you what, having a 200-gallon diesel fuel tank with a 20 kW generator definitely would make life a lot easier if you end up in one of those situations. I mean, we saw it happen in Dallas a few years ago, where they got their power wiped out for a long time. You could run that 20 kW generator for quite a while on that 200 gallons of diesel fuel.
Sure. Yeah, and they'll run 24/7. I mean, they're designed to run in the oil fields for forever.
Yes, sir.
And, just service them and they'll just keep going. You may not be able to see it, but we have an outlet for The pressure washer hose up here, again, so you can just use the short hose that you showed us in that front bay with the wand and come up here and spray off the bugs and put it all back up without having to pull the hose off the reel.
Yeah, definitely nice having that when it's time to keep the bugs off. That's part of Class A ownership. You're going to be busting some bugs. But some of your competitors have a two-piece windshield versus the one-piece windshield. What are some of the advantages or disadvantages in that?
Well, the one-piece windshield eliminates that big post in the middle so that you have not just a nicer view, but from a safety standpoint, you're not going to have an obstruction there that could get in the way. There are certain limitations that are imposed on the converters where they're just having to accept whatever the bus company is providing them. They can't get rid of that post even if they wanted to. It's there. We designed the coach to be able to have the one-piece windshield and still be structurally sound.
When we did the Newell coach factory tour a few years ago, there's some steel structure around this cockpit area.
You've got metal throughout the coach, more metal members in the sidewalls than anybody.
Well, these are aluminum sidewalls, so everybody else that I know of are doing fiberglass sidewalls. Why does Newell choose to have aluminum sidewalls instead?
Well, there's several advantages. It doesn't deteriorate like the fiberglass does, obviously. You don't get the telegraphing over a period of time that fiberglass will have. The sidewall, which is a thick aluminum, it's going to be attached to the framing with aircraft adhesive and rivets, and then it becomes part of the structural integrity of that wall. In addition to all the centers that are 1 foot apart rather than 2.5 feet apart, in addition to the closed cell foam that's sprayed in, and then the 5/8" piece of plywood that's actually screwed to the metal. There's no wall in the industry built like that. It's just the way it is, yeah.
Yes, sir. Then going back to the foundation, the steel structure below the floor and below the sidewalls, what type of steel is used for the chassis?
Well, you'll see a much thicker wall steel that's used not just in the main frames, but in the bulkheads. Instead of just using diagonal trussing, we're using X members where they're going to get far more support. There's welding rather than just bolting pieces together. The important thing to realize is that we are engineering and designing this coach to be able to handle 4 slides.
Yeah, those are very heavy slides as well, the biggest slide rooms in the industry. What type of slides are you using?
We're using Valid slides. We've been using Valid since roughly 2003. They are an excellent engineering firm. You can visit their website and see a lot of things that they do in addition to slides. They support us and support our customers well. As a customer, you can call Valid if you have a question, or if you're having a problem, you could call Valid and they would walk you through. I have found personally that most of the problems are operator error, like leaving a bay door open and trying to pull the slide in, or it won't let you do that. There's a lot of safeguards built in.
And there is redundancy built where if you need to actually manually push in the slide room, there's a way to disconnect that.
That's so rare, but it can be done. The way the slides are built at Valid, instead of resting on a bearing of some sort and then having gears, the Valid is like a drawer. It's suspended and it just slides in and out. Then we've got the floor that comes up. That's why we have flat floors throughout the coach, not just on one slide. We've built the coach to be able to have 4 flat floor slides if we want them. The other thing that's very important, because we build it from the ground up, we don't have to come in and install gussets in the storage areas that interfere with your actual storage capacity. We don't have to add all the reinforcements after the bus has been built. We built it in from the very beginning.
Yes, sir. What else is going on here in the exterior of this coach?
Here we've got the compartment that opens up to the automotive fuse box. We've got 2 air compressors. We only use one at a time, but we've got 2. We've got one as a backup. You've got all these pneumatic functions on the coach, like your air leveling, your air pocket doors, the air door. We just recommend every year or so, 6 months or so, you can toggle that switch over and exercise the one that hasn't been used. We've got a light in this area. We've also got the fire suppression system for the generator.
365 tires up front as well. Newell's been doing that for quite some time.
Yeah, on the front and the tags, you're going to have the 365s, and of course the steerable tag is another advantage of the Newell over anything else that you have out there. And that's active steering, not a passive steering where it just drops and follows. You can actually steer the tag with your steering wheel when you're backing into a spot. You've been able to experience that firsthand.
Well, and now some of the newer higher end cars, I've got a car with 4-wheel steering. It's a game changer. Newell's been leading the industry with that type of technology now for almost 2 decades.
Yeah, since 2004.
Now, I know the folks want to see inside the coach, but real quickly, I just want to show everybody how quickly we can open up the bay doors just by pressing a button here. Very easy, and even with the slide rooms out, very easy to access these doors. So what all is going on the doors on this side?
You've got the other side of the 2 storage bays that we looked at. You've got the same buttons here that you can bring the slide trays out.
Newell Coach 1818, this is that goodie box with extra belts, filters, stuff that you may need while going down the road. And
That's right. And then this one is the same. You've got the buttons.
I used to like the manual trays, but this is so easy. This is hard to beat.
Now this bay is our plumbing bay, 120 volt water pump as well as a 12 volt backup. We're using PEX plumbing. The bay is heated, and you're also going to get ambient heat from the Aqua Hot from the other side. So if you're in cold climates, you've got a heated bay. We've got a manifold system, and you can't see it here, but there's braided stainless steel on the back of that manifold. Very durable water lines. The sewer hose that comes out, and it's got a valve, both the electric valve at the tank and also the knife valve here at the end, so that you don't have to worry about the residual coming out.
Yeah, and just really nice the way that Newell plumbs that into the coach, where you're not worrying about where to store it. You're not fumbling around with sewer hoses.
Right.
You pull it out, dump your tanks, and then just push it right back in. Really nice setup there for.
And we do offer the macerator if people want it. We don't recommend having just a macerator, because if it ever fails, you're in trouble.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then we have more controls over here. You can see what your tank levels are. You've got some lighting switches. You've got the dump valve switches there as well. Got a hot and cold water faucet outside. We've got the water hose that you pull out, but then has an electric switch to bring it in, and that hose can go through the hole that's in the bottom of the bay there. Over here we have electrical bay that on the front entry models it's going to be on the other side, but we switch it because you've got the stairwell over there, so we've got it on this side now. And this box is removable, so that's easy access to get into where.
This is a heavy tray. I haven't shown this in a while, but I always like to just show people if a technician needs to get in here, you can just lay down and then slide right back in here. Plenty of room even for some of the bigger technicians to get in here. And then when you're working on stuff, just nice to be able to slide into that bay and access that.
Instead of having the electrical panels all over the coach, we've got everything in one place. In the new N1 system, you're not dealing with physical fuses. If there was an issue where maybe a fuse blew, you can go in, you can see which fuse it was and just hit reset and it takes care of it. And here we have the storage bay on the other side.
And is there a reason this is a manual slide tray versus having that power slide tray with the button?
Right, because the slide's not wide enough to be able to put that motor and all the hardware that's needed.
Okay.
That's all. Now we do make another center door entry plan that has a wider bay here, and on that one we do put the electric slide tray.
Then here's the other side of that 200-gallon diesel fuel tank.
As we come toward the back, it might be a little hard to get a shot of that, but we do have the airbags, but also the continuous damping control, another Newell exclusive. There's nobody in our segment of the industry, or as far as the motorhome industry, as far as I know, that's using the continuous damping control.
What exactly does that do?
Your typical motorhome, and what we used to use and what everybody else is still using, is the ride height control valve. So when you're taking a corner, your motorhome naturally wants to lean, and so ride height control valves will try to make adjustments, and it's about a 2 to 2.5 second delay to try to level things out. With the continuous damping control, instead of just side-to-side correction taking 2.5 seconds, it's monitoring and adjusting 10 times per second per individual wheel. So you've got a much better performing vehicle than you do those with just ride height control valves.
And then coming back here, you've got your a separate compartment for the 50 amp cord, There is that remote. You can walk with your 50 amp cord while you're unreeling it. You can start and stop your generator out here. What else is going on?
Well, you can see here we've got the air hooked up. So you've got your shop air in here, so you don't have to be running the engine to generate air pressure. We've got that on both sides of the coach. Then you've also got the 120 volt connection I was telling you about for the battery charger.
Yes, sir.
If you're going to store it for a long time, you can plug that in to the electrical outlet and keep your chassis batteries charged up.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm always impressed with what's going on the outsides of the Newells, but I think the folks on YouTube are going to be really excited about the interior. Can we take a look inside?
Let's do it.
Sounds good. Now, Newell's the only one I know that has the air door as well. What are some of the advantages of having an air entry door?
It allows you to not have to wrestle with the door at all to try to get in, and it moves the door completely out of the way. You're not going to have it sticking out while you're trying to go inside the coach with boxes or clothes or groceries. It just gets it out of the way completely. The other thing that we can do on the mid-entry is have a screen door.
One of the other things I like about having the air door is if you do need to have an emergency release, there is an emergency release where you can manually open and close that, where some of the other latching mechanisms could get stuck into place, which could make it a little bit harder to get in and out of the coach. But if for some reason the air system does fail, you can release it and manually open and close it.
We've got some backup systems available on the inside if there was a problem with the air supply.
Well, this entryway is stunning, but let's take a look inside here.
Okay.
Phil, the design team at Newell never ceases to amaze me. This is an incredible feel inside of this coach.
The center door floor plan allows us to create a much larger living area that's never going to be interrupted by anyone coming in the front. There's some other things that we can do because we are the only ones in the industry that have the flat floor slides throughout the coach, and so we're able to get more storage space, more headroom in the slides.
Most headroom in the Class A industry, deepest slide rooms in the industry. And this design, though, I really feel that Newell really shines when it comes to interior design, really leading the industry. The ceiling design is incredible. I love the saddle color recliners that match the two-tone captain's chairs with that Newell coach embroidery. And when we look closely at this diamond stitching, you've got the double diamond stitch with the perforated leather in between, very high-end finishes. When you look at all of the different, levels of diamond stitch, not everybody's doing the double diamond stitch.
Right.
Not everybody has the perforated leather, and not only the perforated leather, but you'll notice a small gap in between the double diamond stitching where it's not perforated. That's very similar to what they're doing in the Dizinio edition Mercedes-Benz. Really cool to see all those little options.
Yeah, Amber and Sydney do a fantastic job.
Now let's take a closer look at the cockpit area up here. I love the wood grain. In the past, they did a lot of carbon fiber, but drivability of the Newell coach and the cockpit of the Newell coach. I recently had a chance to drive a late model Newell, and the ergonomics, I was so impressed with the ability to change the stereo or the rear view mirrors, tilt the steering wheel. Everything was very easy to read, very easy to get to. And I've got to compliment Newell. The dash stereo in the Newell is the best stereo I've ever heard in any vehicle, car, motorhome. What are you guys doing in your dash?
There's some options you can get, but the standard system is bouncing the sound off of the glass back towards you. We've also included subwoofers. We've got a subwoofer over here that increases the bass. A lot of people spend time behind the wheel and they want to be able to enjoy their music or their podcasts or whatever it is. They want to be able to hear it clearly. We accommodate that as well. The other part of it, and this goes back to what I was trying to say at the very beginning, we're not taking a third-party product and trying to convert it to fit the motorhome. We're building it from the ground up to fit the motorhome buyer. Most people prefer the larger icons. They want to be able to operate the entire coach from one location and have some features on the coach as far as the ride and handling that you just don't have on a passenger bus that's been converted, like the continuous damping control, the electronic steering assist. While you're driving down the road, it's always going to be returning to center.
Well, and all the camera angles as well. We've got cameras all over this coach,
right.
And then the 3 screens up here. And what I really liked is as soon as I kicked on that turn signal, a very large camera. You know, if I turn my right turn signal, the right side of the coach, I can see what's going on, see my blind spots.
Yep.
I was really impressed with the Newell coach cockpit.
Right, and that's again part of being able to be a one-stop shop. We're going to build it to fit the motorhome user that we're catering to.
Talking about mid-entry again, I know a lot of the wives out there really appreciate having their own area when they're going down the road. When
Sure.
you turn this seat around, you have all this area up here, and a lot of times the pets will like to hang out up here. You're not worried about your pet falling down a stairwell.
Exactly.
And then if the driver needs to go get fuel, you can go out the mid of the coach and not disrupt your passenger.
That's feedback that we get from people, because sometimes they may even be asleep. Who knows over here? The ability to just stay in that seat and not have to get up anytime somebody wants to stop and get out. They don't have to move.
And a lot of times we forget about all of those little advantages when we're just reviewing these coaches and looking at how beautiful they are. I don't always think of the function, but Newell coach is really thinking of a lot of functionality for the end user.
Absolutely. I mean, that's our market.
People are buying these coaches to use them, not just to sit in their driveway.
These people want a good driving experience, and they want a great livability experience when they get to their destination, and we're catering to both.
Talking about livability, what all is going on in this part of the coach?
Okay, well, you've got your sofa over here that's got the footrest on each side.
And a beautiful fabric, beautiful finishes that really tie everything together well. And then I'd like to point out that indirect lighting below the windowsill there.
Yes.
So much indirect lighting even above the slide room faces.
And then we make these removable bolsters so that if you do want to just lay down, instead of having an arm to the sofa that takes up sitting space, we just have these bolsters to slide in if you want to use those.
Yeah, with a cup holder, with a Newell coach logo inside the cup holder. So many cool little details.
Of course. Over here on your dinette, because we have the flat floor, we don't have to default to like a bar stool arrangement. We can actually put in a 4-person dinette where they'll all sit at the same level.
Very comfortably as well.
Yeah, there's plenty of room here. And then we can even extend the dinette with the push of a button, and then we have inserts that go in to create even more seating area. And then we have a leaf for the table.
And beautiful decor that the design team picks out. And then I also want to point out that saddle or caramel colored piping with the two-tone back and seating. Just incredible the way all of these different textures and finishes tie together.
Again, they do a fantastic job. We have the ceramic countertops, which is very durable. We're seeing a lot more of that. And then we have the recliners. We offer 3 or 4 different types of recliners. The customer can choose which one fits them the best and what's going to work best for them. Storage up above. Since you're going to be sitting here most of the time and not standing here, might as well make use of that space. Some cases we put in a projection screen, and then there would be a screen over here, but in this case they didn't want that option. So
I did see outlets in all of these cabinets, though.
Yeah, so there's power there if they decided they wanted to make that change.
Yeah, and I just want to point out, I really like the way they positioned the cabinets, because a lot of times the view is going to be more on this side of the coach. This is going to be the patio side.
Absolutely.
So you've got that real open look, and then usually the hookups, water, 50 amp hookups are going to be on that side, so not as much of your view. So
usually you'll see a big berm or something over there, so that's really not interfering with any view. We've got a window behind the galley as well to give you some sunlight, but that's not necessarily going to be what you're looking out for a view. Yeah,
and then coming into the galley, I love this waterfall style countertop and the two-tone cabinets, so much indirect lighting. What else going on in the galley here?
Well, we've got, like you already mentioned, the countertop that goes into the waterfall effect. This is a ceramic countertop, and when we use the ceramic, we're able to incorporate another feature that's pretty cool. You notice the stovetop?
There is none.
There is no stovetop here, but we do have the stove underneath the countertop.
Yeah, so here's the controls for the countertop in the silverware drawer. Of course, those high-end silverware dividers. And then I think I've seen this once before on another Newell coach.
Yep.
So you just put those on the countertop?
You put those on the countertop where the burners are, and it'll take a couple of times to get used to where you need to put them, but once you put them there, you'll be able to discover where they are. It'll tell you if you're on the burner or not. You're going to have to use induction cookware, but you'll be able to put that on there, and you don't have to worry about scratching the countertop. It goes through the rubber mat here. You don't have to worry about it being too hot, just like our phones, like we charge our phones magnetically. It not only cleans it up visibly, it allows you to have more workspace, because not everybody's going to be cooking all the time, so you might as well be able to use this space to food prep or do whatever you want to do without having to work around an actual stove.
It's incredible how the technology evolves and how you can utilize space.
And here we put in a Miele dishwasher. Sometimes we use the Fisher Paykel, but on this particular floor plan, this worked out better for us. Got your trash receptacle here. Put cleaning supplies and other utility items in this area. Again, we don't have a step up. We're not losing that 4 or 5 inches of storage space. So you've got plenty of storage space here.
With a residential style garbage disposal, so if you want to chop up vegetables and throw them down that sink into the waste,
fine.
No
Perfectly
problem.
Fine. Yep. Yep, it's got the InSinkerator. Then we've got drawer space. Look how deep these drawers are. Beautiful tile work in the back as well, the backsplash. Over here we have huge pantry area.
I really like this lighting here. That's more of that updated single line light.
Right, it's great for accent lighting. It's great for illuminating the contents of your pantry. Very deep pantry with adjustable shelves, so you can put them at whatever level you want depending on what you've got. And we've got other pantry storage as well, floor to ceiling here.
Very well lit there, all lined with carpet.
We've made it to where you can convert it into a closet. If you take a look up at the top, you've got one of the lighted closet rods.
Oh yeah, downlit hanging bar. Really nice spot for a coat closet here while you're traveling.
Plenty of pantry storage, even in a center door entry. This particular floor plan is a new floor plan. If you've looked at our center door entries in the past, the half bath has always been on this side, and you've had a wall here as you come in. With our new design, with the half bath on this side, you've got more storage, more pantry, got a little area for either a bar or a coffee maker, whatever you want to put over here. Got this hutch over here. And then of course we've got storage for the glasses, the Newell glasses also. Nice
spot for that, and we went right by it, but I've got to point out this accent wall. Very cool, all of those cool little design touches that Newell does with that indirect lighting.
Right.
Just a very nice feature there.
And we didn't touch on it. I'll touch on it over here, but you've got your Intrepid 2.0 system here. It's basically your coach management system, and this is mirrored on the iPads, and you can also download an app and have it mirrored on your phone so that you can operate this coach remotely if you've got the right connectivity.
Yeah, we've done a video once with Grant where he showed us, putting the slide rooms out, taking the tablet outside. Yeah. So when you're putting the slide rooms out, if you want to, monitor how close you are to a tree branch, you can go outside the coach and put the slide rooms out there as well.
Absolutely, yeah. And also if your coach is in a shop in a remote location, you're getting ready to go, and it's probably a little warm there, you can turn the air conditioners on from your app, and by the time you get there, it's all cooled down, ready to go. You can turn lights on. You can unlock the door for somebody if they need to come in while you're gone. You can unlock it remotely.
And how long has Newell been using this Intrepid system?
Well, the Intrepid came out in about 2015 on our 16 models. Roughly around the 2018 model, we went to Intrepid 2.0, which upgraded the graphics and then had the ability to use iPhone for remote operation.
So you've been using this technology here for quite some time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. We've been using it, like I said, since 2016. There's always going to be little updates and upgrades that we might incorporate. Since 2018, it's been basically the same system.
And owners are happy with the usability of it?
Yeah, it's like anything else. When you get a new iPhone, you've got a little bit of a learning curve. It's the same way whenever you're moving from one coach to another, learning the different platforms and how they operate, but very intuitive, user-friendly. You just have to start using it and not just setting it aside for 3 months and then coming back trying to figure it out. I recommend people, when they take delivery of a coach, go through every system, even if you don't need to. Just keep going through the system for the first week or two so that it's ingrained in your head how to operate it. And then it'll be much easier as you're continuing to use it.
These are very complex machines.
And it's industry wide. You know, there's all kinds of different platforms that people use. That it's just a learning curve.
Yes, sir.
Like anything else.
I haven't seen a refrigerator here in the Galley yet.
Who needs a refrigerator?
Right. It's almost hidden back there. It almost looks like it's part of the bulkhead wall.
Yes, it disappears. I got it to where it goes away. You can't really tell it's a refrigerator unless you're looking at the handles. But this is the GE monogram. You can see the heavy duty hinges here. Because we have the taller ceilings, we can put in a taller unit. We got an ice maker, and then we have the deep freeze here, and you can see how much deeper it is than your typical freezer.
I really like this new floor plan. I've never seen anything like this, freeing up that space to make the middle of the coach part of the galley, really opening up the front of the coach.
It really does.
But you still have a half bathroom here.
We still have a half bath.
Before we open the door, I've got to point out that it's almost like an accent piece or a really cool inlay on that pocket door.
Yeah, it's because you're going to have the doors closed like you do with the bedroom, so you might as well make them attractive as well.
Absolutely.
We'll go ahead and open the powder room here.
And I'm seeing an underlit countertop, a nice towel with the 1818 embroidery. Now, I could tell that's a really expensive stone, or what is this material?
That's a quartz material. We use that throughout the coach. On some coaches here, we use a ceramic in the galley and quartz in the bathroom. Agate countertops you can get. We've got, like I said, the ceramic. Hardly see any granite anymore with the quartz, all the variety in the quartz product.
Just an incredible high-end look, and all the different textures that they use to tie everything together, and some nice medicine cabinet space.
Got a tremendous amount above the toilet storage. Again, with taller ceilings, you've got another 6-8 inches of storage.
But we haven't even seen the fun part about this coach. Can you show us behind door number 2?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Now this bedroom, it does not feel like a motorhome at all. I mean, it feels like we're inside of a Ritz-Carlton or something, or a Four Seasons.
Yeah, again, just luxury at its finest. Looking at the needs of the motorhome owner, you can make a really pretty looking bedroom, but how many bedrooms are going to have this much storage? When you look at the closet space, the drawers, I won't open all of them, but you've got 6 drawers here.
And I'm seeing something inside of this closet here. Again, that downlit hanging bar. But check this out. I've got to pull these out. Check out how beautiful that is. It looks like these are the sheets for the extra set of sheets.
Extra set of sheets for the master bed, and then one set of sheets for the sofa bed.
Yeah, so many nice little details, like just a spot to store your sheets, keep everything neat and organized. And then again, outlets inside of the closet, very deep drawer space here. And as you mentioned, we got 6 deep drawers here, just a lot of storage inside of this bedroom.
And again, a flat floor in the back, so you don't have a big unit that comes out over and interferes with your ability to have storage as well as walking space through the coach.
Now, what about TV in the bedroom?
Well, this they did choose the projection screen option for the bedroom. So you'll have a screen that comes down. You can see the projector.
And Newell does have an option if you want to have that projector flip outside and bring Bluetooth speakers out there. It can be an exterior entertainment as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It works better at night, but you can reverse the image, and then it'll make your window a big screen TV outside. The bed also, it extends. Whenever you get ready to go to bed, it extends. And one of the things we have also, again, because of the way we're able to build the coach from the ground up, we have more storage underneath the bed. And we should have the inserts for the dinette in there. This is a good place to put even, maybe some things that are valuables, because most people wouldn't even know how to get in. On each side of the bed, you have that coach management system, and then you have an iPad that's removable that also has the coach management system on it. But then you can use the iPad for any of its other purposes also. And then you have the lighting switches here on each side, and then you have one on each wall. That lighted wall provides some accent when you want to dim down the puck lights and just maybe have the accent wall. It creates a nice environment.
Again, that cool ceiling design here, and then we see those, are these the Galley acoustic speakers?
Yes, yeah, they've got surround sound in here with the projection screen TV. You'll get that theater effect for sure.
Is it as good as the dash radio or the dash stereo?
Sure. It's probably even a little bit more so because you're covering a bigger area.
Yeah, unfortunately for copyright reasons, we usually don't turn on these stereos, but that's one thing I think we forget to mention in these videos is how great the stereos are.
Oh, sure. From a serviceability standpoint or routine maintenance, little things like being able to access the filters in your air conditioner.
Yes, sir.
In some products, it's very difficult proposition. Here, it's just a matter of dropping the ceiling panel. Your filter's right here. Take you a couple of minutes. Take it out, wash it out. Got a smoke detector here as well. And then, 2 minutes, you're done.
Yeah, very simple and easy. But I'm really curious to see what's behind door number 3 here. So there is a small step up into the rear bathroom, but Newell has these huge rear bathrooms, that underlit countertop, really incredible. What all is going on back here, Phil?
Even though this is a mid-entry, we've actually got the larger shower, and then you've got the ceramic walls on the shower also.
Beautiful craftsmanship, the way those veins line up in the shower, and the way the drain's hidden here.
The drain is concealed. It's at the far front. Here you don't see any of the shower hose or anything. We wait until the customer comes and place them exactly where they want to. We got one shot to get that right, so we let them mark where they want the towel rings or the towel bars, and then you've got the heated towel bar over here. Very large master bath. We got 3 of us in here.
Yes, sir. Yeah, 3 big guys back here, and I've got to step into the shower just for size to show folks the perspective.
You always do. You always do that.
It's important. We got cleanliness is next to godliness. We spend a lot of time in the shower. It's got to make sure we have plenty of room. But I mean, even for big guys here, I mean, my elbows are all the way out. You've got probably, close to 3.5, 4 feet in depth there, and plenty of headroom.
I've got customers. They've been in coaches. I had one in particular. He said, I like my coach, but I have to turn my head this way to take a shower. He converted to a Newell. That was part of the reason, I think. But when you're that tall, you want to be able to live in your coach without tilting your head.
I love these oversized, large, almost like a concrete style tile on the floor. And then we still have quite a bit of storage back here.
Have a good bit of storage. I'm going to go ahead and open this door so you can see the washer and dryer. We can put the doors back in place. You can leave this open, be able to access the washer and the dryer. Then you've got storage in the back, cedar line closet. You can come back and see that it goes all the way back behind the washer and dryer. Then you've got another cedar line closet here, fire extinguisher inside. You were asking earlier about if the air pressure went down. We've got an emergency pocket door release here so that you can always release the pressure if you need to. One thing that is important that I think would be important to your viewers, we don't have the exhaust and DPF filter and all of that equipment taking up about 4 foot square space to go out the top. Again, since we are building for the motorhome user and not the bus operator, we're going to be putting that equipment down below. That frees up that space up here to create a bigger bathroom and a lot more storage than you'll get otherwise.
And you still have some nice drawer space there below your closets as well.
Got three large drawers.
Plenty of extra, looks like bedding and towels. Newell's making sure you're turnkey ready when you buy a new Newell.
Absolutely. Then you've got storage down below here for your detergent and fabric softeners and that kind of thing. And here you can see the leaf that goes into the dining room table and the acrylic pedestal that gives it more support when you extend it.
Well, Phil, it's always an honor to be able to see the latest and greatest with you here at Newell Coach. Now, if someone's a serious and qualified buyer and want to custom order a Newell coach or purchase one of the late model pre-owned Newell coaches you have here at the factory, who can they get a hold of?
Just contact me, Phil Cornelius. You can contact me through email at philc@newellcoach.com, or you can call or text 541-953-3113.
Awesome, Phil. I greatly appreciate your time, sir. Always an honor. Also greatly appreciate all of you out there subscribing and liking these videos. We hope you're all having a great day.
Have a great day, guys.